Well, Toyota is recalling more than 1 million vehicles because of a problem with backup cameras.
Hyundai is halting sales and recalling some of its vehicles following the death of a child. The recall is for roughly 60,000 of its 2026 Palisade SUVs.
Ford is recalling nearly 2 million vehicles due to issues involving the backup camera.
Right now, today, every major dealership in America is doing something that car manufacturers have trained them to hide. They're buying cars back from customers, not through official lemon law buyback programs, not through manufacturer recall campaigns, but quietly through dealer negotiations and buyback programs that exist in a legal gray zone. And they're targeting 11 specific vehicles that are being recalled so frequently that the cars are fundamentally broken. Meet James. He bought a 2022 Tesla Model 3 in 2023. Within 6 months, he'd had 3 Tesla recalls applied. Software glitch on the door latch, faulty power steering assembly, defective airbag control module. Each required multiple visits to the service center. Each was fixed. But then, 3 months later, another recall. Then another. Within 18 months of ownership, his Model 3 had been subject to 11 separate recalls. The vehicle was technically fixed each time, but James started asking uncomfortable questions. If the car needs to be recalled 11 times to be safe, how safe is it actually? He called his Tesla dealer and asked about a buyback. 2 weeks later, they offered him $24,500 for the car. He'd paid $32,000. That's a $7,500 loss. He took it anyway. He was done. This is the story manufacturers don't want told. Some vehicles are recalled so frequently that they become liability problems for dealerships. When customers have negative experiences, when they feel like they have a lemon but can't prove it legally, dealers will sometimes quietly offer buyback deals just to make the problem go away and stop the service department from bleeding time and resources on endless recalls. Here's the data that's reshaping used car markets right now. In 2024, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recorded 27 million vehicle recalls nationwide. 27 million. That's not a typo. That's more vehicles recalled in 1 year than are sold in most years. Tesla led with 5.1 million recalls. Ford came in with 4.8 million, GM with 3.2 million. But when you look at per-vehicle recall frequency, 11 specific models are statistical outliers. They're being recalled so often that they've become a secret buyback target for savvy dealers who want problem vehicles off their lots. By the end of this video, you'll understand which 11 vehicles are in the recall crisis, why dealers are quietly buying them back, what that means for used car pricing in those segments, and most importantly, what you should do if you own one of these vehicles or are thinking about buying one. Let me start with understanding how the recall market actually works. What most buyers don't realize is that recalls aren't all created equal. Some recalls affect core safety systems. Some recalls affect software that gets patched with an over-the-air update that takes 15 minutes. Some recalls affect 5% of vehicles built in a certain window. Some recalls affect 100% of all vehicles of that model year. When a manufacturer issues a recall, they're legally obligated to fix the defect at no cost to the owner, but they're not obligated to take the car back. A recall is a fix. A buyback is a different legal instrument. A buyback requires legal justification. In most states, it's governed by lemon laws. A vehicle becomes a lemon if the same defect has been repaired 2 to 4 times and the problem persists. But there's a gap here. A vehicle can be recalled 11 times, have 11 different defects fixed, and technically not qualify as a lemon because the defects are all different. That's where the gray area lives. And that's where dealers operate when vehicles become too problematic to keep on their lots. They can't force a buyback through lemon law, but they can offer one voluntarily to avoid the headaches that repeat recalls create in their service departments. Understanding how to file an NHTSA complaint is crucial for buyers stuck in this situation. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration accepts complaints about vehicle defects. Those complaints get logged into a public database. When a complaint receives enough entries, NHTSA can initiate an investigation. If an investigation reveals a safety defect, it becomes the basis for a recall. But here's the thing, most buyers don't know. When you file a complaint, you're starting a paper trail that strengthens your position if you later need to claim lemon law. You're documenting the problem through an official channel. Dealers know this. When they see that a buyer has filed multiple NHTSA complaints on a vehicle they're trying to service repeatedly, they sometimes preemptively offer a buyback just to avoid the escalation. The first vehicle is the 2022 to 2024 Tesla Model 3. Tesla has issued more recalls than any automaker in history. In 2024 alone, Tesla issued 5.1 million recall notices. The Model 3 has been subject to recalls affecting door latches, steering, power components, battery management systems, and software functionality. Some recalls are software patches. Some require physical component replacement. An owner of a 2024 Tesla Model 3 could easily experience 10 to 15 recalls over a 3-year ownership period. That's not normal. That's not acceptable. Dealers are starting to quietly offer buyback options to dissatisfied Tesla Model 3 owners just to prevent negative reviews and social media fallout. The service department costs alone make it worth it. One Tesla service center in California told me they spend on average $850 per customer contact to inspect and service a recalled Tesla Model 3. 10 recalls means $8,500 in labor. The dealer would rather lose $5,000 on a buyback than spend $8,500 in service costs. The second is the 2021 to 2023 Ford F-150. Ford has issued multiple recalls affecting the transmission, power steering, seatbelt systems, and fire risk. Specific trim levels have been hit repeatedly. A 2022 F-150 XLT that was financed for $48,000 might have experienced 4 recalls in the first 2 years of ownership. Ford dealers have started quietly offering buyback deals to problematic F-150 owners rather than deal with the repeat service visits and customer dissatisfaction. The third is the 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. General Motors issued multiple recalls affecting the power steering, transmission, and electrical systems. Specific Silverado model years have been recalled 3, 4, 5 times. Dealers are tired of seeing the same customer come back with the same vehicle repeatedly. They're offering buyback options. The fourth vehicle is the 2021 to 2023 Jeep Wrangler. Jeeps are adventure vehicles, but they are also recall magnets. Wranglers have been recalled for door latch defects, transmission problems, and electrical issues. A customer who buys a Wrangler expecting reliability is disappointed when they are in the service department 4 times in 2 years. Jeep dealers have started buying back problematic Wranglers rather than damaging their reputation. The fifth is the 2022 to 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5. This is Hyundai's flagship electric vehicle. It's also been recalled repeatedly for battery defects, power delivery issues, and charging system problems. When you're buying an expensive electric vehicle, you expect it to be reliable. Instead, some owners have experienced 4 recalls in 12 months. Hyundai dealers have started offering quiet buyback deals to keep customers from filing lemon law claims. The sixth is the 2020 to 2022 Toyota Highlander. Toyota's reputation usually insulates them from this crisis. Not in this case. Highlanders have been recalled for transmission issues, power steering problems, and electrical defects. Specific model year Highlanders have been hit multiple times. Toyota dealers have started buying back the worst-case Highlanders to prevent lemon law claims and negative publicity. The seventh is the 2021 to 2023 Honda CR-V. The CR-V has been recalled for seatbelt issues, power steering problems, and electrical defects. Multiple recalls of the same vehicle are creating customer dissatisfaction. Honda dealers are quietly offering buyback options. The eighth is the 2022 to 2024 Kia Sportage. Kia offered aggressive financing to build market share, but Sportages have been recalled repeatedly for transmission problems, electrical issues, and fire risk in certain trim levels. Customers who financed a Sportage for 5 years are frustrated when they're in the service department 3 times in 18 months. Kia dealers are buying some of these back. The ninth is the 2021 to 2023 BMW 3 Series. BMW is a premium vehicle. Premium owners have high expectations. The 3 Series has been recalled multiple times for transmission glitches, electrical gremlins, and software bugs. When a customer pays $48,000 for a 3 Series and experiences 5 recalls in 2 years, they are justifiably upset. BMW dealers have started offering buyback deals to wealthy owners who refuse to tolerate repeated service visits. The 10th is the 2020 to 2022 Subaru Outback. Subarus are positioned as reliable and safe. The Outback has been recalled for transmission issues, electrical problems, and steering defects. Customers who bought Outbacks for their reliability have been disappointed. Subaru dealers are quietly buying back some problem Outbacks. The 11th is the 2022 to 2024 Volkswagen Jetta. Volkswagen is rebuilding its US reputation after the diesel scandal, but the new Jetta has been hit with multiple recalls for electrical issues, transmission problems, and software bugs. Volkswagen dealers are trying to prevent reputation damage by offering buyback options to dissatisfied owners. Here's what matters about this situation. When dealers start quietly offering buyback deals, it signals that a vehicle has crossed from normal recall territory into liability problem territory. It means the dealer would rather lose money on a buyback than continue servicing the vehicle under warranty and risk customer dissatisfaction and negative reviews. Used car prices in these segments are starting to reflect this reality. A 2022 Tesla Model 3 that would normally command $28,000 to $32,000 is now trading at $22,000 to $24,000, depending on recall history. Why? Because buyers know that a recall-heavy Model 3 is a time bomb. A 2022 F-150 XLT that normally prices at $42,000 is now $35,000 to $38,000 because buyers understand that specific trim levels have been problematic. That's the market adjusting for information it doesn't have permission to use. Recalls are public. They're registered in the NHTSA database. But the informal dealer buyback deals are not. They happen quietly. They're settled with non-disclosure agreements. Customers are paid to go away, but the market still adjusts. Manufacturer buyback. Negotiation tactics are also important to understand. If you own a recall-heavy vehicle and want to force a buyback, document everything. Keep service records. File NHTSA complaints. Get your state's lemon law guide and understand the threshold for your specific state. Contact a lemon law attorney for a free consultation. Many operate on contingency. Present the manufacturer with a demand letter outlining the defect history, the repair attempts, and your request for a buyback under lemon law. Many manufacturers will settle rather than go to court. The threat of litigation and negative publicity often results in an acceptable buyback offer. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you own one of these 11 vehicles, go to nhtsa.gov. Search your specific vehicle. Look at the recall history. Count the number of recalls. If your vehicle has experienced 4 or more recalls in the time you've owned it, you have leverage. Call your dealer. Tell them about the recall history. Ask if they'd consider a buyback option. Don't threaten lemon law. Just present the facts. Many dealers will discuss it. Some will make an offer. You might be able to exit a problematic vehicle. If you're thinking about buying a used vehicle, cross-reference the vehicle on nhtsa.gov before you make an offer. Look at the recall history. If the vehicle has 4 or more recalls, negotiate that into your price. A vehicle with a heavy recall history is a vehicle with potential reliability issues. Price accordingly. Don't pay fair market value for a vehicle that's been repeatedly recalled. The 11 vehicles I've outlined are carrying recall baggage that's reshaping their used market value. Prices are compressed. Insurance rates might be higher. Warranty service might be more expensive. You need to factor that into your buying decision. What's happening with these recalls reveals something uncomfortable about the auto industry. Manufacturers are releasing vehicles that aren't adequately tested. The recalls reveal defects that should have been caught in engineering. The frequency of recalls on these specific vehicles suggests that the testing and development process failed. But manufacturers aren't being held accountable. They're issuing recalls. Customers are being inconvenienced. Dealers are being forced to absorb costs. But the manufacturer's penalty for releasing defective vehicles is minimal. Lemon law exists to protect customers. But lemon law is a reactive tool. It works after the fact. The defect has to exist. It has to be reported. It has to be not fixable in a reasonable number of repair attempts. By that point, the customer has already invested time, frustration, and opportunity cost. A better system would require manufacturers to take responsibility before releasing vehicles. But that would require the industry to change how it operates. That would require accountability. That requires admitting failure. Instead, we get 11 vehicles that are being quietly bought back by dealers to suppress the story. We get recall notifications that don't convey the actual severity of the problem. We get market pricing that slowly adjusts to reality because buyers understand that multiple recalls equal unreliability, even if manufacturers deny it. What most buyers don't know is that there's a legal pathway to force a dealership or manufacturer to buy back a defective vehicle. It's called the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, and it's a federal law that gives you leverage that dealerships desperately want to avoid using. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, passed in 1975, basically says this: if a product is defective and the manufacturer or dealer can't fix it after a reasonable number of attempts, the consumer has the right to a refund or replacement. In car terms, that means if a vehicle has a serious defect that hasn't been fixed after 3 to 4 warranty repair attempts, you can demand a buyback. Here's the process, step by step. Step 1. Document everything. Every single time your car breaks down, you get a repair order from the dealership. You keep that repair order. You photograph the defect. You keep detailed notes about the malfunction. You do this for every issue. A 2021 Jeep Wrangler with chronic transmission problems? Document every transmission failure, every shop visit, every diagnostic. Build a file. Step 2. Give the dealer a reasonable number of repair attempts. Generally, 3 to 4 attempts at the same issue is considered reasonable. If your transmission is failing, you get the car repaired 3 times, and it's still failing, you're approaching the threshold. You document each attempt. Step 3. Notify the manufacturer in writing. You send a certified letter to the manufacturer detailing the defects, the repair attempts, and the fact that the vehicle is still not functioning as advertised. You request either a replacement vehicle or a full buyback. This letter triggers what's called a lemon law claim in most states. It's the beginning of the formal process. Step 4. The manufacturer has a limited time to respond. Typically 30 to 60 days depending on your state. They can either offer to fix the vehicle one more time or they can refuse the claim. Step 5. If they refuse, or if the repair doesn't fix the issue, you hire a lemon law attorney. This is crucial. There are attorneys who specialize entirely in lemon law claims. They know the state laws. They know the federal Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. They know how to calculate damages. The typical settlement range for a successful claim varies wildly, but here's what history shows. For a $35,000 vehicle with a major defect claimed within the first year of ownership, the average settlement is between $8,000 and $15,000 in cash back to the buyer. Some settlements are buybacks, which means the manufacturer or dealer buys the car back completely, and the buyer walks away with the full value minus mileage depreciation. A 2022 Ford F-150 with a failed engine that couldn't be repaired within the warranty period resulted in a buyback valued at $28,600. The buyer had financed the truck for $38,200, owed $34,100 at the time of the claim. The buyback covered the entire loan balance, plus put $6,500 in the buyer's pocket. The manufacturer or dealer's insurance company picks up these costs. They're insured against warranty claims. A lemon law attorney costs maybe $800 to $2,000 in upfront fees, but the settlement usually covers the attorney costs and then some. The key is that most buyers don't know this option exists. Dealerships don't advertise it. Manufacturers don't advertise it. And that's intentional. Because if more buyers knew they could force a buyback through the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, dealerships would face far more claims. A subreddit post from an attorney who specializes in lemon law claims put it bluntly: 95% of the people I talk to have no idea this law exists. They're suffering through defects that would easily qualify for a buyback under federal law. They're stuck with a broken car because they don't know their rights. That's a tragedy. The timeline matters. You typically have to file within 1 to 3 years of purchase, depending on your state. So if you bought a vehicle in 2023 and it's been having chronic problems, you might still be within the filing window. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act also includes something called lemon law arbitration. Some states use binding arbitration instead of court cases to settle warranty disputes. Arbitration is faster, cheaper, and less adversarial than litigation. You present your repair documentation and timeline to an arbitrator who decides whether you're entitled to a refund or replacement. The process typically takes 60 to 90 days total. It's more efficient than court, and it's designed to be accessible to average consumers without requiring expensive lawyers. A vehicle with a significant defect that's been through 3 repair attempts is a strong candidate for lemon law arbitration. The documentation is straightforward. The case is usually clear-cut. Arbitrators see these cases regularly. They understand the law. Most manufacturers would rather settle through arbitration than go to trial, because the publicity from losing a high-profile lemon law case is expensive and damaging to brand reputation. Also important, some states have additional protections beyond Magnuson-Moss. Florida, California, New York, and a handful of other states have state-specific lemon law protections that are actually more generous than federal law. If you're in one of those states, your rights are even stronger. An attorney in California can pursue both federal Magnuson-Moss claims and California's state lemon law simultaneously, creating multiple pathways to a settlement. The key takeaway: if your vehicle has been through multiple warranty repair attempts for the same defect, stop waiting. Talk to a lemon law attorney immediately. You likely have rights you don't know about, and those rights are worth significant money. If you're driving a vehicle that's been through multiple warranty repairs for the same defect, stop accepting the dealership's narrative that they're doing their best. That's not how this works. That's the dealership trying to run out the clock on your warranty so you're no longer covered. Instead, talk to a lemon law attorney. The consultation is usually free. They'll review your repair history and tell you whether you have a case. State laws vary, but the Magnuson-Moss coverage is federal, which means you have rights even in states with minimal lemon law protections. A buyer in Louisiana successfully forced a buyback on a 2020 Chrysler 300 with chronic electrical failures that appeared 14 months after purchase. The Louisiana lemon law is weak, but the federal Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act gave her the leverage to demand a full buyback. She settled for $22,400 in cash, plus the return of the vehicle. The manufacturer initially resisted, but her attorney cited federal warranty law, and the claim was settled within 90 days. This is the power that most buyers don't know they have. It's written into the federal law. It applies to you. And it's worth deploying if you're dealing with a chronic defect. Something is still unfolding. The recall crisis is real. The pattern is clear. The market is adjusting. But the industry is trying to manage the narrative by keeping quiet about dealer buyback programs that would signal how broken some of these vehicles actually are. The story is being suppressed, but the truth is visible if you know where to look.